Hello, hello. Today is October 1st, 2025. This is SIG Node CI weekly meeting. Welcome, everybody. We have a couple items on agenda, but we discussed it offline already. So maybe SIG Group one, we can rehash it a little bit because Kevin joined, and we can discuss deprecation and removal logic. What we gonna do 135. Kevin, do you wanna rehash this topic?
Yeah. Give me a sec. Sorry. I can share the issue.
I think we're discussing whether we can.
Sorry. Does someone mind giving me screen share ability?
Absolutely. You got it.
Thank you. And I wasn't preparing to talk about that here, but that's okay. Give me a sec to bring up that issue.
Before that, I will just establish some context. So we've been having troubles with C Group E1 infrastructure, and Maria was working on trying to distinguish C Group E1 and C Group E2 jobs by passing some flags or some test arguments. And later we decided for C Group specifically, it may not be necessary. And Kevin, take it away.
Yeah, you pretty much summarized it. What happened was on Fedora's side, Maria was looking into the PSI, and we found that our Fedora lane silently regressed to actually creating a C group v2 node. And then we tried to force boot Fedora with C groups v1. We noticed that the CPU set controllers were missing on Fedora. And generally, Fedora 42 is using systemd 257, which is not quite yet dropped C group v1 support, but systemd 258 is going to remove the C group v1 support entirely. So for Fedora, we're basically hosed on trying to support C groups v1 because I'm imagining Fedora 43 will come out probably, I don't know the Fedora release cycle, but it's going to be probably by the end of this year. So we will eventually be not really able to support that anyway. So we decided to remove C group v1 testing in Fedora, and I don't really like the fact that we're just silently dropping it from Cryo without any kind of formal announcement. So this issue, I wanted to start the conversation about actually moving C group v1 to unsupported. I drafted the KEP and I have the code that basically my proposal was to set there's a config called fail C groups v1. It's both a kubelet flag and a config API, and just setting that to true so that we will not boot on a C group v1 node for both Cryo and containerd, really, but generally just formally move C group v1 into an unsupported state. And yeah, that's kind of the discussion. Yeah, that's it. That's all I have.
Yeah, I think making a default fail will clearly show us which jobs are misconfigured, and we can fix them up. I think one discussion point here is KEP, like bureaucracy around KEP. Do we need one KEP that goes to GA right away, and then we have a KEP for removal, or we want to do this one as a removal KEP? I don't have strong preference. So,
Sergey, I did have a question for you. Wearing your Google hat, do you know? So right now, the only C group v1 support we have is because those tests are still working on containerd through Google OS. I don't know if you all are patching systemd to enable that, or it just is happening. It's just working by happenstance.
We don't do anything special. We just working. We can keep, and COS has like multiple families, so we can keep older family as well in test environment, so it can be okay. In GKey specifically, we announced the removal of cgroup v1 some time ago, maybe a year ago, and 135 will not have cgroup v1 support at all. So we kind of went ahead of upstream in declaring the deprecation. I think at this point there is no need, there is very little reason to wait, and we need to just follow the process as soon as possible, announce deprecation, and remove the code.
Yeah, my concern is, at least from Fedora, like we know it's coming. System D 258 will remove cgroup v1. I don't fully know how Google's I forget what it's called. Google operating system, whatever, no,
Yeah,
containerized operating system. What version of System D they're using? I'm a little too lazy to look into figuring that out. But like I know for Fedora, we were setting our Fedora lanes, we were setting the kernel arguments to force boot system D to start with with that cgroup c1 enablement flag, which was just kind of a stopgap until we could fully remove cgroup v1 support. But
also mention that Fedora moves very fast, like in the realm of like, you know, Linux distributions. Like it's like a little bit slower than Arch, but not that much in terms of like how quickly we adopt new projects. So I would not be surprised if if the System D version was quite a bit or like a little bit behind the Fedora version, like in cost. Like Fedora is comparatively quite fast.
so yeah, I mean,
Not
that's at least like why I wanted to get it out, like with this KEP cycle, to at least start that process and formally announce it, so that like, because we're basically no longer testing it in upstream and cryo, and I don't know for container RD like how much we're committing to actually supporting those test lanes.
we will do some due diligence to support them. We still have customers on that, so we have a need to support it. I just checked on CORS release notes 125, which is latest family that will adapt for 135. We still have 254 systemd, meaning it's still supported. I mean, it can be enabled. You still need to have this like flag to be propagated and like, all this dance around it. But yeah, it is supported still. And I don't think in 125 if it's supported, it will be removed. So next course version will be maybe end of year-ish. So maybe there it will be removed completely, but I cannot tell either way.
Yeah. So next steps, I mean, for the KEP, I was really wanting to focus. I don't have a lot of cycles this release, so my goal with this KEP was to at least get out code changes that sets the fail cgroup flag to true and start removing the test lanes for cgroups v1, and ideally have some kind of thing in the release notes announcing that we are going to move, or cgroups v1 is effectively unsupported. I do not really have the time or the ability to look into how much effort it would be to actually remove the cgroups v1 code from kubelet. So that's why I'm not as interested in including that in this KEP.
I
If
could
there's some
potentially help out with that, Kevin.
okay. Do you, Peter, think like part of what I want to not get into the honestly the weeds of the KEP, like I would like for the 1.35, I think like I guess we
If you
should
want me to
have.
take over this KEP, I also can do that if that would be better for you.
Well, I worry like if we want to have the removal, we would want to call out all the places where we should remove it in this KEP. I guess we could have this as a phased approach, but I think what Sergey was talking about was like whether or not we should have like a quote unquote alpha where we automatically set the failed C groups to true, and then a stable where we remove C groups v1 in a future release.
I think that makes sense to me.
Okay. I can change up the KEP that way, and at least maybe. I don't think in 1.35 we should remove the C group v1 code.
No, I agree, because I think we need to give people the option to use C group v1. So that's what the flag is for.
Yeah, it was just
So
was a typical deprecation process. Like I think our deprecation like 2 or 3 releases needs to pass. So we announced 135 and 138 to be removed.
okay. So I'll update the cap I guess for the SIG node leads here. Do we want to opt in on this one and have this
Yeah.
for the cap? No or yeah?
Yes.
All right. So I will. So does this mean for the stage we want to call it alpha, but in reality it will be going in full effect?
It'll be alpha. I think we probably do want a feature, or do we want a feature gate? Actually, that's a good question. We can talk about it. It will be stage alpha. Let's talk about it in the cap, like on what mechanically we actually are going to do, whether it's like just a flag or if we also have a feature gate along with it.
Yeah, I mean,
We
at
have
least
no
the
feature.
code I have right now is just to automatically, it will just change the default. That flag already exists, so I'm just changing the default to true with no feature gate.
Yeah,
I think
that's fine. That's what we did for Docker shim. It doesn't need to be a flag.
Okay. Yeah, then that's, yeah.
Yeah, maybe we call it beta to make it clear it's in full effect rather
Yeah,
than
maybe
alpha.
True. Yeah, that's a good idea.
All right, I'll call it beta and mention the graduation criteria stable, and then we're saying n+3 releases will remove, so or n+2, just to say.
You need to double check on the deprecation policy specifically. I think n+2 and third one we removed. I keep it for 2 releases.
All right, I'll try to update that today.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I think I'll see if we can approve this failc group v1 early in the cycle so we can find all the jobs that are misconfigured. So expect some failures this week.
Yeah, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, to see like this will merge and then we can just remove those from circulation. I'm not too worried about the failures. We'll be pretty clearly know why. If kubeless not starting, we know that we're removing those.
Yes. Okay. Okay, let's move forward to some triage. I will check. Oops. Let's start with this board triage, and we already like almost 20 minutes in, so we don't have that much time to look at test grid. Let's end-to-end test need a new mechanism for private image pool test. Okay, I think this was just reopened today. I would say it was disabled by mistake, like resolved by mistake. Is Evgeny on a call? No, I don't see him. Okay. Still assigned to him, so this is good. Triage accepted. SIG Node CRY serial PSI metrics test failing on SIG Group V2 on Fedora CoreOS. So this is
to be closed because we just removed those jobs, didn't we?
but
oh no, secret we do. Sorry, wrong. Yeah, for these ones, so we have Niraj looking at that on our team. He found one thing that does help, which is adding memory QoS, because that means that there's like a longer, like you can set the you can use memory.high amount of memory, and then it doesn't get the kernel like generates memory pressure. But I don't think that that's actually the right approach because we don't really have a path forward for memory QoS, well, without PSI. So it's kind of a weird dependency. So yeah, he is working on figuring this out. So we're still sort of looking at it. So I would say it's in progress.
And assignee is right here.
Yeah.
Cool. Migrate device management contextual logging. Yeah, this is not test issue. I will archive it from here. Remove redundant PSI labels from SIG Node. Okay, this is part of this cleanup. Somebody contributed to start with this, which is great. I think. Yeah, I pointed out that there are test lanes also need to be cleaned up as well. And yeah, hopefully this person will send more PRs. Okay. I can assign to myself and so I think week before last we've been discussing to start cleaning up all the feature tags and feature gate tags. So I think this is one of the contributions to that Uber issue. I think it's the same. Okay, support pre-stop HTTP GET hooks on host network ports without host field. Support pre-stop. Wow. I think it's product change. Yeah. It's a product change. I'll triage it from here. And I'm curious what this is about, but yeah, probably need to take a look later. Yeah, Kevin, thank you for raising this one. Advantage for signal tests. Yeah, somebody will need to take it. Is any of the takers on the call to copy the jobs? No? Okay.
Yes, Sergey, what needs to be done here?
So we typically have conformance for each released version. And with every new release, we need to create a new job by copying previous one, maybe updating the image that we use. And if one of them going away, it needs to be removed as well. So this is just kind of clean, like onboarding new release branch onto the conformance.
Okay.
Basically, copy paste.
You can assign it to me, but if I had doubt, I'll reach out to you guys on Slack.
Okay. Thank you.
Do we have a past commits here that I can refer to? This has been done, must have been done earlier, right?
Yeah, Kevin pointed out to this one.
Oh, okay, that's good. So I have something to look for. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you. Okay. This is an this testing report. Okay. Yeah, it's another cleanup. I will take a look. I like just glancing over. I don't feel it's the right approach, but yeah, I feel it's a right direction to go. But maybe not
Yeah,
the right.
I'm a little confused on what label. I never remember what these labels mean anymore. Like with I know framework with feature gate, and I don't know if that is necessarily. We're not supposed to add those features, right?
Yeah, features were designed to separate environments. Saying like I need a VM with specific configuration. Like I want a VM with NUMA nodes, for instance, or I want a VM with GPUs. And feature gates was designed to separate environments by like this feature gate needs to be enabled. But at some point they were mixed up quite heavily, and now we're trying to untangle it back. So this is one of those. But I don't feel it's going to the right direction. I just need to check and suggest what's the right way to go. So the idea here is that if tests can run on any environment and it's enabled by default, meaning it's beta enabled by default, then it will need to run on all the node conformance tests. And if it requires specific feature to be enabled, then it needs a separate lane.
Yeah, and I think the PSI tests are, I mean, they're a little disruptive. I don't know if I would want those as conformance at the moment, but we can follow that one up.
Okay. This is a cherry pick we just discussed, right?
Yeah.
So, Peter, will you comment on this issue to explain
Yeah.
what you... Okay. So you basically don't want to update dependency, you just want to update the formula here. Oops. You see alpha enabled default class are failing to come up. Okay. It's a test failure, so important soon. Is there any takers to investigate? Okay, I'll try to find offline. To do. Okay, work in progress, and this unit test. Okay, unit test that covers 210 files. This is big. I think it's just some. Oh yeah, it's probably some merge commit was mistakenly taken here. Duplicate the various.
But it would be nice the previous commit to say to the author to update the description because it's empty, correct?
Yeah, I broke my Zoom. It froze the screen, and I don't know how I did it. Share. Okay, I'll stop sharing for a second. I pressed some combination of buttons and it stopped, froze the screen. Yeah, let me make this comment here. Okay, duplicate various utility packages. Typically, it's outside of what we look at. Okay, and we're done with CI board, and we 33 minutes in. We have either option to check if there are any to do. Okay, it's not to do anymore.
Sergey, we have two for approval, and I think at least one of them I am aware is in a very good shape. So if
Okay. Yeah, I will take a look. Thank you for Now, what do we do next? We can easily look at bugs. Yeah, let's try to look at bugs, and then if we will still have time, we can go back and see what's happening. I'll also take I will okay, triage by needs triage is something that we need to back. Robot is making us work. It's marking all the triage items as untriaged, saying like, look at it again. Okay. Invalid kube reserve configuration in kubelet causes frequent node status patch updates, ignoring node status report frequency. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think this assessment is correct. So it just so the issue is that wrong configuration will make kubelet start, but kubelet will keep trying to update itself. Yeah, it's not this. The priority backlog. I don't know if you want to need help here. So what was the wrong configuration? Yeah, I think this suggestion from Francesca to just don't accept this configuration is good. It's a little, it will break compatibility back, but at the same time, there's a broken configuration anyway. So any thoughts about deprecating completely?
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it's not really running correctly anyway. So we might as well like make that error happen more explicitly.
Okay, I will put some instructions. If you need help with this post. I almost feel I instruction Gemini what to do. Yeah. Okay, this is triaged. Current slice operation is in Go routine. This may lose some errors. This was 2 weeks ago. Somebody filed this issue and was marked as node and storage by Paco. No details, no nothing. It's purely on code analysis. Wait for pods unmount. So this is product code. It's not a test code. So maybe a product issue. Current slice operation in Go routine. This may lose some errors. Okay, so where is the slice?
The
Oh,
errors.
errors may be lost. Okay, so error slice is what they worried about.
Yeah, I actually can see how that happens.
Can or cannot?
You can assign me to this.
Okay. And this one is task for AI for sure. It's just like
Yeah, I think an
this
AI.
file and this function, fix it. Okay, thank you, Peter. Triage accepted and priority backlog. The next one. Completed status pod which request one NVIDIA GPU resource updated to an expected admission when restart Kubernetes service. Yes, for sure. It happens all the time.
Yeah, it's a known bug.
Non issue.
Do you want to close it saying duplicate?
Do we have a duplicate? I just don't know.
So the one, yeah, this one, even we ran into the same issue in one of our operators. So yeah, this is the issue. Oh, there must be some bug,
Yeah. Oh.
but I might have somewhere.
Yeah, I think this one was about terminated pods. Like terminated pods is even worse, so we fixed that.
There is one more. You can assign that issue to me, and I will close it with the bug that I know is tracking that.
Thank you. We still have time. Timeout waiting for systemd to create proposal slice. Did you fix it, Peter? I remember you some time ago you've been fixing some restart issue when like first start of Kubernetes didn't have something.
I did look at that a long time ago. I'm not sure. It wasn't a timeout. This looks like it's like systemd that is throttling the situation.
Okay. Anish has a repro script for this. Anish, have any call? No, Anish. No. Okay. Yeah, I have hard time following this on the spot. I don't understand this on the spot, so this seems to still be an issue. I
Yeah,
don't know the parent.
but Sergey, I have a question. I see that they are using the run C and they're using 1.7. So I was wondering if we have reproduced it with a recent version.
I don't know. This is from 1 year ago, so it's reasonably fresh. I don't remember if Containerd was fixing any issue around that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder how critical this is. Decrease replica count. Okay, so it's just making everything slower, like way slower. I tend to triage accepted because it was already replicated before. Also, I wonder if it's a Kubernetes issue or something else.
I can try to reproduce it if you want me to tomorrow and update if this is helpful.
Yeah, that would be very helpful.
Yeah, I will do it tomorrow morning and I will update. Thanks.
Okay, then I will not triage accepted. I will mark as backlog since it was existing for a while. Okay. Time shift and fail to reserve container name. Yeah, time shift causes all sorts of issues.
Yeah, I commented on this last week saying it. I don't think our stance is that we support time shifts. It like just feels like a game of whack-a-mole to me.
Yeah. So do you want to close it as or suggest a person to fix it?
I don't know. I'm inclined to close it, but I feel like that, I don't know. It seems like, yeah, we just disagree about like, yeah, I don't know. I like, do you agree that we generally don't support time shifts? Like,
Yeah,
it's like, yeah. So I feel like if that's the case, then we should close it.
Seconds or minutes? What is it like? 50 seconds, I think. Yeah, 40 seconds drift. And I will just close. Okay. Usage inactive file greater than capacity causing eviction. Yes. That's one of those miscalculations of usage. Okay.
Is the fix mentioned the merge store?
No, it's closed. I think it was. Yeah, it was just integrated.
Okay.
Capacity. Oh, okay. So the bug is like comparing some capacity with something.
So if I understand correctly, the fix proposed by Paco improves the resiliency of Kubernetes against such issues, correct?
Yeah, but if we start going this route, like not trusting metrics, and we can go very far in like.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, okay.
So Windows. Yeah, it's SIG Windows, so I don't know if we need to spend time on this. Yeah, by the way, there is a conversation going on about Windows support. I presented yesterday on SIG Node meeting. And steering committee today was discussing it as well. And there are more and more questions about release blocking and release validation. We have very little support for Windows release blocking or release informing tests. So there'll be more updates on that in future, I think. Okay, we have 5 more bugs. Internal storage data on node status doesn't reflect actual available storage after disk expansion. Yes, it doesn't, because we don't support hot plug.
But is this something that we should consider as a feature for future or?
Yeah.
Is this related to node allocatables not getting refreshed?
Mm-hmm. Maybe I can link the cap. Log. Okay, this is removed from a board. That PR that we saw on CI board. Please stop. HTTP hooks do not work with host networking. Wow. I wouldn't guess. Or PID is not working as in a host network?
Can you go check show the CRI version?
Yeah, it says that is CRI important for HTTP GET?
No, it shouldn't be, but Cryo does do some weird stuff with okay, not Cryo. Never mind.
Okay. Something weird with networking. If PID is not allowing to connect. Yeah, host override works here. I think host override was explicitly made for things like that.
Though they are talking about removing host overrides.
Yep. So what is this PR doing? Oh, it suggests to do resolve host on every call. Or is it like real resolving? Wow.
But the resolve host, does it introduce DNS and the
Yeah, that's what I
delays?
was checking.
Yeah, so I think it always DNS adds latency.
Yeah, I don't think it's a DNS. Like it feels like this method will do host IPs first, and then go to port status. What is this? And find IPs reported by port status. Interesting. Yeah, that is. Wait, it is the same code here, right? So this code is here, but then they added this beginning when they took what status port IP?
Yeah, I guess the question is why would we use status.ips if we always could use pod.status.ips?
Exactly. So it started like pod IPs first and then host IPs second.
But is this case expected? I mean, to have host pod networks and to not have IPs?
Yes, I think it's expected if you want to save on IP addresses. So if you have like IPv4 and you want to save a little bit, then just use like host IP. Yeah, that's clearly need to be looked at. Yes, network and share it with the host. Pod IPs. Okay, so interesting. I think we can. First of all, host override was intentionally created to support this.
Though, yeah, like in the SIG security and SIG networking are working together on deprecating hosts field, or at least making it so that restricted and baseline PSA can't use it, because it basically creates a tunnel where you can use the kubeless credentials to like ping any IP address.
Yeah.
But I guess host network pod also is not in the restricted or baseline, so that's actually okay.
PHP probe the Kubernetes probe the pod IP address on this other server. Host network, yeah. Here is the one scenario where you would set it. Yeah. Okay. There's explicitly.
Yeah. So if I understand correctly, the issue that you mentioned to save IP addresses, it should not be an issue because you can just use the local, correct?
Yeah, but I think this PR is suggesting that we will automatically take it. Automatically fall back to host IP.
Yeah, but I think it has a statement which is subjective because it says use the correct IP. So what is the correct if it doesn't exist?
Peter, do you have a link to host field deprecation?
Not super handy. Yeah, it's
Probably enhancement. I think I saw it.
I don't think it's deprecated. I think it's just not allowed in the baseline or restricted PSA.
Oh, it's restricted. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not like disabled PSA restriction.
Right.
Okay. And we had time. Sorry for running over. Thank you, everybody, and have a good rest of your day. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.